Good morning. My name is Adrian Donnelly. My D6 project proposes the creation of a rewilded urban block in Derry city centre, and within this, a new regional natural history museum as a celebration of nature within the parkland. The site chosen, after analysing a number of other possible sites, is an urban block located beside the Guildhall, which is an iconic Victorian building on the riverfront. The site is located at the end of the Peace Bridge, but is disconnected by a busy embankment road running parallel to the riverfront. The historic walled city rises up behind my site, like a citadel atop a hill at the bend in the River Foyle. As part of my site analysis, I looked at the spatial experiences on each of the main approaches to the site. The approach from Ebrington Square. Ebrington Square was a former British Army barracks and has now been developed as a new urban square. And this video shows the route from Ebrington Square through the historic walls across the Peace Bridge over the River Foyle. With views of the Guildhall coming into view. The busy embankment road actually creates a barrier for the connection to the city. Beyond the Guildhall into my site, with views of the Guildhall from my site. The approach from the walled city. At the centre of the walled city is the diamond, a square from which roads radiate on a grid pattern towards the historic walls and the historic gateways. Shipquay Street is a steep street leading down to Shipquay Gate. Into Guildhall Square, the precinct in front of the Guildhall, and across towards my site. The approach along the river embankment. Along the river embankment is a busy arterial road. This truncates the city from the river. The road also truncates the connection between the end of the Peace Bridge and my site and the Guildhall on towards the walled city. There is potential for my site to take over the embankment road space and make connections to the river. The approach from Wellington Square, which is a pedestrianised city centre shopping area, along the city walls through the Guildhall Square towards my site, again truncated by busy roads. The historic walls themselves are pedestrianised, and there are views towards my site from atop the city walls, overlooking Guildhall Square, the Guildhall, and towards my site. In terms of urban design, the development of this site has the potential to act as a new rewilded urban space, making connections between a number of elements within the city fabric. For example, the walled city and its historic walls, the Guildhall and Guildhall Square, the river and Peace Bridge over onwards towards Ebrington Square with its own historic walls and grassy embankment down to the river's edge on the opposite river embankment. Currently the site comprises of an urban block which is used as a surface car park, bus station and associated bus parking areas. The buildings are of no great architectural merit and the area lacks any sense of place. A transfer section through the river gives us an indication of the topography of the site. It is quite flat towards the river's edge with the walled city rising up behind. As mentioned before, the inspiration for this project is the wildlife city brief. Derry in its more recent past has turned its back on the river. The master plan I developed as part of my D4 project proposed an urban green quarter along the river's edge to reconnect the city and its citizens with the river. This project aims to develop that idea further by connecting these urban greenways with a new rewilded parkland to form a new civic space. As I looked at the site, I felt that a civic building could act as a counterpoint to the rewilded space. The building could be immersed within and evolve from the natural space. Perhaps the architecture could be inspired by nature itself. Looking at the different building typologies, a new regional natural history museum to house the exhibitions currently in storage at the Ulster Museum in Belfast would seem appropriate and would have cultural and social benefits for this area. The new natural history museum could be a celebration of nature itself. It is proposed to drop the busy embankment road underground, which will allow the rewilded park to reclaim that area and to stretch to the river's edge. This would strengthen the city's connection with the river. There is the potential for the river to reclaim the land which it had reclaimed from it in the past. The river's water could flood new areas of the rewilded park, creating water pools and bogland areas. The project has three developing elements: the rewilding element, the civic building element, and the infrastructure element. In terms of the rewilding, I'm looking at creating an ancient woodland. Northern Ireland has lost many of its woodlands, and consequently, many mosses, ferns, and lichens associated with the forest floors. My aim is to rewild in a very subtle way by reintroducing these species. Also introducing many native species of birds, fish, and mammals. The civic building, whose form and technologies are inspired by nature situated within this landscape, could have many social and cultural benefits and also enhance the civic space. The infrastructure element of putting the road underground is an inherent element in creating a quality architectural urban rewilded space. This rewilded urban park will connect currently disconnected urban elements and will also bring all social benefits associated with rewilding. I am currently progressing with my research in three main directions: the rewilding element, the civic building design element, and the infrastructure element. And I am beginning to develop my sketchbook and portfolio in these three directions also. At the end of this process, I hope to have developed an informed, critical stance on this urban design project. Thank you.